Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. My name is Pete and today we complete the final episode of our Overlord DLC walkthrough, during which we will also unlock another achievement. Over the course of the last 3 episodes, we discovered that as part of the Cerberus Project Overlord, Dr. Gavin Archer's brother David was more or less mind-merged with a VI to be able to communicate with the Geth. However, the experiments went off the rails, the VI went rogue, and the Geth started killing off the Cerberus researchers. So far, we have managed to keep the VI from uploading its programming to other star systems, and we have also disabled the security lockdown of Atlas Station, the facility where the VI is housed. We are currently hovering around in front of the entrance to Atlas Station, so let's head inside for Project Overlord's grand finale. This is one of the few missions where it's very much recommended to take Miranda, and because he has accompanied us throughout this questline before, let's also take Garrus. With Miranda, we can then max out and evolve her Overload ability, and we're going for range over power here with Area Overload, the same ability that Garrus also already has. Our weapon loadout will not change, but especially for this mission it's a good idea to pack the arc projector or alternatively the M920 cane.
Looks like you're in, Commander. Good. I'm getting some troubling readings here, though. The VI is trying to upload its program directly from your location. Get to the server room and shut down the core before it can...
So, time to get to the server room, but first let's turn on the lights.
Epilogue 155.2. For years, my brother's condition has been a handicap. That changed today. His autistic mind is the breakthrough I've been looking for. He can communicate with the Geth. Such a tremendous grasp of mathematics. It seems serendipity is alive and well in the 22nd century.
Alright, now we learn a bit more about David, Dr. Archer's brother, and it seems like David's autism was actually the key that allowed him to communicate with the Geth in the first place. When and how things eventually went wrong, that is still not quite clear, but at least we now know about another important puzzle piece. The VI, or David if you will, is now once again funneling us through the station, possibly with the intention of showing us more about how things went down.
Epilogue 157.8. Unless he sees results, the elusive man is shutting us down next week. I have no choice. I'm going to tap David directly into the Geth neural network and see if he can influence them. The danger should be negligible. David might even enjoy it.
And we learn that the elusive man's pressure forced Archer to make a rash decision, one that may have led to David's downfall. In the room here, we can quickly salvage a medkit and some hardware, and then call the elevator.
Arriving at level 2.
Now we are in level 7, and it looks like the elevator can only move 2 levels at a time, so let's press the button again.
Arriving at level 4.
That leaves us now with 3 more levels to go, and while the 3D diagnostic console seems like a good option, instead we need to use the secure computer over here.
Arriving at level 7.
And as soon as the elevator is on its way, we want to grab cover behind the desks, because as you can see, that elevator is not going to be empty. And here we are with a powerful Geth Prime and 2 regular troopers emerging, a fight that is certainly challenging just for the Prime alone. There are 2 approaches one can take here. One is to focus on the 2 weak Geth troopers first to reduce enemy fire, the other is to eliminate the Prime first to avoid it coming too close. I mainly focused on the Prime and took some potshots at the other 2, but that's mainly because after 2 area overloads there wasn't a whole lot left of them. With all enemies down, we can now collect some ammo, although there is a power cell crate coming up soon, and then use the elevator ourselves.
Arriving at level 6. Please contact the
I'll take it.
Warning. Decelerator offline. Serious injury may occur.
Okay, now in this room we learn that Archer was very much aware of the risks that his experiments with David carried. We can also get our hands on a heavy skin weave upgrade, hack the computer here for 2,250 credits, and grab 1,000 units of palladium before heading into the next room, the one where the VI server console is located.
Get ready. I wouldn't be surprised if this button summoned a Reaper. Alright, looks like the VI has infected our Omni tool, and it has also separated Shepard from his squad mates. On the bright side, we can now apparently understand David, who's looking at us from the other side of the glass. There are also 3 Geth in the corridor ahead of us, but with a few well-placed shots from the sniper rifle, they are quickly taken care of. Shepard being on his own, by the way, that is why Miranda was, or technically still is, part of the squad, as her Cerberus leader ability gives us boosts to both health and weapon damage.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. Time on this project is running out. There are no options left. How to get the Geth's attention?
The robot says hello.
Eureka, David. You're a miracle worker.
And it does indeed seem like David actively wants to share his past with us, so let's keep learning more.
David, I want you to order the Geth to take a step forward. How does he do it? David is a mathematical savant. His autistic mind can interpret the Geth language at its most basic form and mimic their phonetics. With his photographic memory, cross-referencing the meaning as a snap. He's literally a human computer.
And you think he can interface with the Geth's neural network?
I do.
Is that even safe, Doctor?
I see no harm in finding out.
Needless to say, Dr. Archer's motives are becoming more and more questionable, so let's grab the power cells here and take a look at the third memory.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. David, can you repeat my notes from Thursday's experiment? Square root of 918.09 is 30.3. David, please pay attention. Loud. It's getting loud in here. I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. Would you mind repeating my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Log 137.3. The experiment yielded no discernible patterns of Geth obedience. End dictation now, David. Hell, the elusive man will have my head for this.
Thank you. And how are you feeling today?
Square root of 924.16 is 30.4. Earplugs would be good.
And again, it looks like Archer was getting himself caught up in between the elusive man's thirst for results, his own ambitions, and his care for his brother David. As we quickly dispatch of the Geth in the room here, we can say with some certainty that his decisions were probably not always in David's best interest, which may have ultimately led to David turning hostile.
With the enemies eliminated, we can now grab another medkit and some credits from a wall save before venturing onwards. David now begs for it to stop, and a good first step is to destroy the VI connection here, which is best achieved with a single powerful shot, for example from a sniper rifle. Afterwards, we can then switch over to the arc projector for the first time, and with a maximum ammo capacity we are well prepared for the next encounter, which will begin after once again calling for the elevator.
Warning. Elevator exceeds maximum weight capacity.
That brief line should tell you all you need to know, so let's get into cover and wait for the right moment, keeping in mind that the arc projector needs a second or two to charge before it fires. And there we are, 3 quick bursts and all 3 enemies are more or less defeated. Yes, the arc projector is immensely useful against Geth, although being a heavy weapon its uses are pretty limited due to the rarity of its ammunition. Now, before we take the elevator ourselves, we can salvage more hardware for 1500 credits, grab another palladium crate and then refill our ammo with the power cells over here. And now, it's time to meet David.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
We're ready. Open a connection to the Geth network. What? David, no! Tell the Geth to stand down! Quiet, please make it stop!
Node acquired. Normandy SR2 is within range. Attempting to establish upload link.
Right, so the VI is attempting to upload itself onto the Normandy using these small connection bubbles, and we have to destroy them before the bar in the lower right corner fills. Every time there's a break in the upload process, the VI becomes vulnerable, and we have to use that window.
Pull the plug! Tell Vulcan Station to cut all power! It's too late! We've lost control!
Attempting to establish upload link.
Here we go again. This time there's 2 VI connection bubbles, and additionally we also have some Geth. Now, the Geth will automatically disappear once both bubbles are destroyed, but on Insanity difficulty they can take us down pretty quickly, so we have to give them at least some attention. You can also see that the connection bubbles are moving, and every time we land a hit they move away from the upload nodes, so simply landing a few shots is enough to buy us time and stop the progress.
David! You have to stop this! David doesn't want to be here!
Attempting to establish upload link.
Now, for round number 3 we have just as many VI connections, so things are getting increasingly difficult, and the Geth are of course also once again joining the party. Not only that, their initial numbers are receiving constant reinforcements, so we will inevitably have to manage both them and the VI connection bubbles.
Communications link established.
Before destroying that final node, by the way, it's a good idea to switch over to incendiary ammo, since that works better against armor, and that is exactly what the VI is protected by.
Quiet. Please make it stop.
Wait! Commander!
I'm begging you. Don't do anything rash.
Right, so now it's upon us to speak judgment, and in light of all the information we have gathered throughout the mission, I don't see any other option but to condemn Archer's experiments.
Rash? Like forcing your own brother into an experiment?
I know how this must look, but I never intended any harm to come to him. You must believe me. It's not like I planned this. It was an accident. Seeing David communicate with the Geth, it all seemed harmless.
Well, we have heard and seen a few of Archer's logs and David's memories to know that it did not seem that harmless, not to David and not even to Archer himself.
I saw his memory. He begged you not to do this.
I was desperate. The elusive man doesn't broker failure. Any war we fight with the Geth will be bloody. I was asked to find a way to avoid that.
And here we now see which side Archer eventually chose, and in doing so, he took in his hands the fate of his very own brother.
Who gave you the right to play God?
People who are too afraid to make difficult decisions themselves. When they pray for a miracle, they're really praying for men like me to make the tough choices. If my work spares 1 million mothers mourning the loss of 1 million sons, my conscience will rest easy.
Now, 3 choices here, all again scolding Archer for his decision, and we'll explore them all, one after another.
Look at him. Your brother will never be the same.
The damage may not be permanent. He might recover some semblance of his mind.
Cerberus will never leave him alone. Your brother will always be a lab rat.
But a well cared for lab rat. At least he'd still be alive.
So you'll sacrifice your brother's happiness for your own ambition.
Square root of 906.01 equals
30.1. What I've done to David is unethical. If he dies, it's unforgivable. Let me take care of him. Please.
quiet. Please, make it stop.
So, decision time. We could take the renegade path and allow the project to continue, despite David's suffering, or we could end the attempts to understand the Geth for David's sake. Now, very interestingly, despite looking like it, neither of the two options gives any morality points, but they do actually have consequences in Mass Effect 3, and that's why we will take David with us.
I've seen enough of your cruelty to know he'll never be free from it here. I'm taking him away.
No, leave him! He's too valuable!
You even think about coming after your brother, and this bullet will be waiting for you. Then we'll see who's valuable.
Where will you take him?
Grissom Academy. They can help special cases like David, minus the torture. Joker, contact the Academy and let them know we've got someone who needs their help.
Aye, aye, Commander.
The elusive man can fire me if he doesn't like it.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless.
And here we are, with a final Paragon interrupt for good measure. We complete the mission, and with that the Overlord DLC, and unlock the Digital Exorcist achievement. The VI has been shut down, Project Overlord has come to a stop, and David is brought to a facility that is not controlled by Cerberus. For our efforts, we receive enough XP to reach level 25. We also unlock the Heavy Skin Weave upgrade for a 50% health bonus, as well as 15,000 credits and 2,000 units of Palladium.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
And here we are, finally back on the Normandy, and with a message waiting for us.
The elusive man shows himself a little disappointed that we removed David from his and Dr. Archer's grasp, as he states that our decision has set back their research efforts by several years. Still, I think it was the right decision and the one that our Commander Shepard would have made himself. After all, sometimes the price of knowledge is just too high. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, let's quickly grab that upgrade we just received. We can find it under prototypes, and it is the 5th but not final heavy skin weave upgrade, increasing Shepard's health even further. And I would say, after 4 eventful episodes with Project Overlord, it is time to make the cut.
Commander, Morden requests to see you.
In the next episode, we might take Morden up on that chat he has requested for so long now. I'll have to think about that for a bit, because our finances do actually play a role in where we go next. I will probably explain that a bit more in the next episode. For today, I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to help the channel grow, or maybe check out and pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.